Devaya. Devaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you for joining today. We wanted to seek the blessings of Radha Madhav, Radha Shamsundar, Krishna Balaram, Bal Gopal, Gonitai, Chiraprabhupada, Guru Maharaj, assembled devotees. So we're continuing with the journey of the soul. And today we wanted to look a little bit more closely what happens at the time of death. When the soul leaves the body or is dragged out by the Yamadutas, we know this event as death. The gross body no longer is occupied by the soul. Of course, it's not the death of the soul, because the soul continues to live, continues to exist. And it's not the death of the body, because the body was never alive. So death is a little bit of a misnomer. There is no such thing as death, because the soul continues to live and the body has never lived. But the interaction of the body and with the soul with the body, gives us this appearance of death. So, according to the Pindopanishad, the soul no longer has a physical body, stula sarir, after death, but wanders in a subtle body, linga sanla, the size of a thumb, and can neither drink nor eat. In this state, the soul is called preta. The subtle body consists of the mind, intelligence, and ego. So we know that there are two types of bodies: the gross body, made up of earth, water, fire, air, ether, and then we have the subtle body, which is made up of mind, intelligence, and false ego. And the subtle body, because the gross body is finished, no longer suitable for the soul to occupy, the soul is carried by the subtle body. Death involves a contamination period for the relatives of the deceased, which length varies according to the family status. So during this time, one should not study the Holy Scriptures, perform fire sacrifices, worship the deity, or only through manasas puja, or receive guests. Now, the reason why this is there is because this is a period of contamination, and generally because of the state of the mind. So if somebody has lost a dear one, their mind will not necessarily be in equilibrium. It'll be disturbed, emotional, perhaps, tearful, in a pitiful condition. And that state is called contaminated state. And hence why at that time, because of the emotional disturbance, it is, the scriptures have given this time where one should not worship or read the scripture or perform fire sacrifice, because one's state of mind is in a wrong place. If we're going to worship the deity, if you're going to read the scriptures, the mind needs to be in a state of equilibrium. Bhakti. So this is the reason for this period of contamination, is to purify the person from this period of contamination. However, if one has taken vows which involve daily deity worship or study of the scriptures, etc., such vows should not be broken. The importance of devotional service transcends all material considerations. But having said that, one should still have an equilibrium of mind. If that is not there, then the performance of that bhakti may be called into question. So this contamination Ausocha period lasts as follows. So this is general guidance, right? 10 days for the Brahmins. So this 10-day period, the Brahmins generally don't do anything. They don't even cook. Food comes from outside of the home. 12 days for Kshatriya, 15 days for Vaishya, 30 days for Shudra. And the reason for this differences in the days, or according to the different varnas, is because the Brahmins are supposed to be able to control their feelings in a quicker way than the Kshatriyas. And the Kshatriyas can control theirs more quicker than the Vaishya. And similarly, the Vaishya can control better than the Shudras. So, if death strikes a distant relative, the social period lasts 3 days. In respect of the 3 types of people, the following is a journey in general terms. However, each situation can be different. So the 3 types of people were those who were sinful, those who were grossly sinful, and those who were both did good karma and did bad karma. The devotees of the Lord are taken by the Vishnu Dutas. So it looks like these 3 are a little different. Okay, so the 3 types here we're talking about the Vaishnavas, the pious people, and the sinful people. The devotee of the Lord are taken by the Vishnu Dutas to the spiritual world by special delivery. And there are examples in the scriptures of this. Ajamil, he had the Vishnu Dutas come with an aeroplane, took him back to Vaikuntha. And Dhruvalok, he had Lord Vishnu himself who came, take him back, or take him to his planet, which was within this universe, but it's part of the spiritual world, Dhruvalok. The pious, so the second category, those who are good behavior, good karma, begin the journey to Yamlok, not to be punished though. The sinful begin the journey to Yamlok, but after 11 days. So there's a period of time when they are not in the journey yet. The impious soul takes time to understand and accept the emotional attachment within its previous body. The soul stays around the area for 11 days as he is attached to his near and dear ones. So sometimes for the first 11 days, nothing is done, and then on the 12th day, there will be, the feeding of the Brahmins and so on. So that a deceased does not wander like a ghost in the ether with only a subtle body. Those who are relatives of the deceased must make offerings to him. During the contamination period, one offers the deceased daily water to make this disentanglement process easier for the soul. Prayers and intentions of offerings offer solace to the departed soul. On the 11th day after demise, for the relative of a Brahmin, the house is purified, offerings are made to the departed, and 11, if possible, Brahmins are fed. After the 11 days, the soul stays 3 days in water. So this is all according to the Garud Purana. 3 days in fire, 3 days in space, and then travels on the wind on the 10th day. On the 11th day, the ceremony, which consists in offering food, small bowls of rice cooked in milk with black sesame, ghee, and honey to the deceased and his forefathers, should be performed. So I think this is the Pindan. This is a Pindan, isn't it? This Pindan ceremony should be performed by the priest, and once the presiding priest has eaten his share of the prasad and leaves after the puja on the 11th day, the Yamadutas then escort the soul. It's quite a harrowing time, actually. Performed by the eldest son, this ritual is repeated every month for 11 months, along with 2 Shraddh ceremonies during the year. The pin ceremony ends with the last offering during the 12th month, known as Sapindadi Karana, which enables the Preta to obtain the body of a Prithu to enter the heavenly Pritalok planet ruled by Yamraj. So we know where that Pritalok is, right? It's, below, near the lower planets. Oh yeah, here it is. Pritalok is there. But it's actually regarded to be a heavenly planet. But it's quite close to the hellish planets. Of course, such rituals do not erase the karma accumulated by the living entity throughout his past lives. So these rituals actually are to help the soul along its journey. But what's done is done, and that karma cannot be negated by the performance of these Shraddh ceremonies. The Garud Purana, 1134-44, explains that the offering of pind reforms, makes again a temporary body with organs and senses that are equivalent to those we are familiar with. This body is built as follows, according to the Garud Purana. So first offering makes the head, second offering the eyes, ears, nose, third offering is the cheek, mouth, and neck. The fourth offering is the heart, sides, stomach, sexual organs. Fifth offering builds the waist, back, and anus. The sixth offering the thighs. Seventh offering the ankles. Eighth offering the calves. Ninth offering the feet. 10th offering the soul gets back his hunger and thirst. So it's quite technical, but this is what is described in the Garud Purana. We of course don't necessarily have direct experience of this to verify, but we accept the words of the scriptures because whatever the scriptures have given have proved to be accurate, correct. After the 11th day, the soul begins the journey to Yamlok. Yamlok is 86,000 yojanas from Earth, which is 688 miles. It's a long way away. Every day, the soul has to travel 2,000 miles. It takes 348 days to reach Yamlok. So the notion that the soul moves into the next body immediately may not always be correct, especially if one is going to Yamlok to get punished. Those souls that have been pious have an easier journey than those that have been impious. Just like traveling in an AC compartment compared to a sleeper class compartment in a train. So I actually decided to experience a sleeper class train overnight journey from Delhi to Ahmedabad this last time we went to Bharat. And my goodness, it's hard. It's hard. I won't be doing that again. So one passes through 16 cities, zones before reaching Yamlok, where the soul has to stop and suffer according to its karma. So these 16 cities are Yamapur. One reaches there after 18 days. There's a river filled with flowers. Those that have been impious are beaten with sticks and they do not get any shade. So the pind in the first month can be eaten by the soul at this place. So this is the advantage of offering the pind. It gives some solace to those souls who may not have been so pious. It gives them something on their journey. The road here has 10 suns shining and the temperature is 50 degrees. The area is like a desert and there is no shade or slippers for the soul. Those that stop are beaten to make them move on. Therefore, many people offer an umbrella, clothes, slippers to Brahmins at this time to help the departed soul on this journey. So this is often done, especially when the Shraddh ceremony is done. the Brahmins, the priest will be offered the umbrella and clothes, shoes. Soripur, so this is the second city on the way to Yamraj. Soripur is a younger brother of Yamraj who resides in Narendra Bhavan. One has to get his attendance noted here. The soul reaches this city in the second month, and the pin done in the second month is received by the departed souls here. The pin is divided into four. Two parts are for the protection of the covering of the subtle body. One part for the Yamadutas. So you have to feed the Yamadutas as well, because if you don't, they'll get angry and give the departed soul a hard time. And one part is nourishment for the temporary body. Therefore, if no pind or a jaldan, water is done, then the subtle body does not get any protection or food, and the Yamadutas also don't get any food. So they become more aggressive towards the soul. Therefore, the soul suffers a lot. Nagendra Bhavan. So these are the cities. I don't have too much information. Gandharva Nagar, Shaligama. So here, Shaligama, where he encounters rains of stones. There are many stone buildings here, and the soul suffers a lot. He has a body which suffers, but it does not perish. So the body they get can endure a lot of suffering, does not die. Okay, some more cities. Korapur, Kauns, Vichitra Nagar, where the river, Vaitarini is flowing. It is a very dangerous river which smells horrible due to bad things in it. It is 800 miles wide, and the soul has to cross it. Those souls who have done Godan, so anybody who has donated a cow, Gomata, in their lives, are carried in special boats across this river. So even if one is impious, if one has donated a cow in their life, they will get this benefit. They won't have to suffer in this river. Bhava Pada Pad Pur, Dukhatpur, Kanak Randapur, Sutapta Bhavan. So these are all different cities, places which the soul will cross in its journey to Yamlo. Raudrapur, Payovarshanpur, Shitadhya, Bahu Petiti. So this is reached after 348 days. Finally, it is known also as Shyamanagari. Here the report of one's deeds is done first. So the report comes out. Finally, one reaches the gates of Yamlok. Chitragupt is on the left. Yamraj is seated on the throne. This is the Atma who's come before. Chitragupt, he will have an account of the activities done by, the karma done by the soul. And that account will be read out and the punishment will be meted out by Yamraj. Yamraj's court is 32,000 miles wide. There are 14 doorkeepers known as Shravanas. They have been listening to all our conversations throughout our life on earth. They've also been seeing all the activities. So they have an up-to-date record of our deeds, our conversations and activities. Their wives are even more cleverer. They have the ability to know what our thoughts are. So all these are also recorded for each soul. If anyone who has heard about Krishna or heard the Mahamantra in their lives are considered special souls, and a message is sent to Yamraj informing him of this. Yamraj welcomes these souls with a great deal of respect. And they don't necessarily have to go through that journey, the arduous journey either. Those souls who have been impious are punished, therefore, before they are sent to Chitragupt and then to Yamraj. To the impious souls, Yamraj seems ferocious. He's dressed in black, holding a yamdanda made of iron in one hand and death ropes in the other. His eyes are red and he has fangs. He's 24 miles in height. Wow. For the pious soul, Yamraj looks like a gentleman with a handsome form. Yamraj welcomes these souls by getting up from his throne and giving him a seat. He knows that the pious soul is going to go to heaven, so he blesses him before sending him to heaven. The souls enter the court of Yamraj, who consults with Chitragupt, the recorder of one's deeds. So Chitragupt reads out from the great register of worldly deeds called the Agra Sandhani, also known as the Akashish records. The wrongful and good actions the soul has performed in his or her lifetime. The information obtained through the services of Shranavas and Shavanis. So this is also given to Chitragupt. Lord Yamraj then metes out the justice by condemning those who committed terrible sins to a hellish existence of pain, torture, and suffering. Those who are virtuous and performed only noble and righteous acts are raised to the status of Prithus, go to Prithulok, and sent to the heavenly planets to reap the awards of their good actions. Wow, it's quite a heavy journey. So I think we'll stop there. Tomorrow we can conclude, because we'll look at the different types of hells. Just as a reminder, really, to ourselves, and also just as a form of knowledge that these places do exist, where the soul may go for a short time to get punished.
So sorry, Prabhuji.
Yes, sir.
So every soul doesn't go to Pitru's place, isn't it? Pitru, whoever goes straight away in the Swarglok, or then they don't have to stop in between Pitrulok or anywhere.
Actually, Pitulok is like Swarglok. Pitulok is the heavenly planet. And those souls who are pious have to suffer, they would go to Pitulok. Only those who have been, impious in their life, they've been committing a lot of sinful activities. They're the ones who take this arduous route to Yamraj. Yes, you're right. Yes, you're right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else? Anybody else? So it's quite a tough, journey to understand.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Karuna.
Then you want to maybe a clarification. What happens nowadays is that people don't observe all the rituals, 11 days, 12 days, and then the whole year.
Yeah.
So what happened to the soul when all the rituals are not observed properly?
Yeah, they struggle. Yeah, they struggle.
But again, you said there's a 300 and something, 40 something days. So every time we have to do the whole rituals, you think?
Once a month for 11 months, first year, because that's how long it takes for the soul to get to Yamlok. And if it's not done, even devotees don't follow this, really. It's pretty much lost, Karuna. Pretty much lost. What happens to the souls? They struggle. They, the offering is not there. That offering gives them. This is mainly those who are not pious. So it gives them no relief.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I remember for my Pitaji and Mataji, we wanted to carry on all the rituals for the whole year, but then the other close relatives, they didn't want to observe the whole year, as if you can't go to temples, you can't go to wedding ceremonies. We should be, yeah. So they didn't want to follow all these. So after 3 months, then the Pandit said, "Okay, we can do the all of the ceremonies on one day, and then it will be okay." So we had no choice; we had to do
Yeah.
it.
For your father and mother, there's no question because they were pure devotees. So there's no question of worrying about that. If one can do in your situation, it's good. It's good to do. It's good to do as an
Mm.
example for the families, for the children. But to be honest, for your mother and father, I would say it's probably not even necessary.
Yeah.
So
But Prabhuji, normally Panditji says everybody's. My mother-in-law when passed away, my husband passed away. Panditji said 1 day ceremony for
no,
whole year. Is it correct?
no, it's not good practice.
Almost I hear every time I heard that they said 1 day on mother-in-law after 13 days and my husband passed at the 12 on 12 days. I
Yeah,
rem I remember because of, there was no place, so we tried to get before 12 days for his um, funeral and everything to finish, and it happened. But Panditji said is 1 day all ceremony finished.
yeah, that's a shortcut. It's a shortcut.
Yeah, that's what they are doing nowadays. They just do everything on one day and then you say, okay, for the whole year it's done.
This happened. I know that. I remember both the time. Yeah. Mm.
Good practice. See, the tradition is completely lost, and who suffers is the departed soul, really. But
But
also
but
getting
it is true. If they lie, they did really good job in their life, and
it's okay.
there
Yeah,
is most of charity or chanting or whatever prayer whatever.
no need.
Then is beneficial or not.
Then no need because that soul will not go through the suffering. But in this life, we do good. We also do some crazy things. So
Mm.
precaution. The family. Yeah, yeah. As Jayati said, even when you're walking down the road, you kill an ant by accident. You don't know what the suffering.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's best to do it rather than not do it. It serves as an example for the future generation as well.
Mm.
Should be there, it should be done. Otherwise, it's going to be lost. It's lost anyway. It's practically lost anyway. So,
Yes, lost.
mm.
It's hard to understand everything, I think.
It's very hard. It's very hard. And, you need somebody who's actually a priest, who's actually specialist in this area. There are,
Mm.
you will find some in Gaya, Haridwar, in Varanasi, in this country. Mm,
Dwarka and everywhere, yeah.
that's right. Somnath, you'll find
Mm.
wonderful souls, but in this country, where are you going to find?
Mm.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Madhubin.
Thank you.
There's nothing else. We'll stop there.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji.
Sanatan Dharma ki jai.